Hello and welcome to another episode of Child Abuse Awareness with Darlene J. Clark. Be a part of the solution instead of part of the problem. Let me cut my phone down here. How are y'all doing today? I hope y'all are having a blessed day. Thank y'all for coming in and supporting the channel. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. And in Isaiah 117 it says, "Learn to do right, seek justice, defend the oppressed, take up the cause of the fatherless, plead the case of the widow." Without further ado, please come in and say hello, if you will, whether you're at Facebook or elsewhere. I appreciate y'all coming and supporting it. Thought this was rather interesting. FBI Dallas Operation Soteria Shield. It arrested over 244 offenders in this operation. They rescued 109 children in April of 2025. Thank you so much for y'all's work. Let me present my screen now. It's starting to rain over here. They hear the joint operation in North Texas with the FBI and local police leads to 244 offenders charged with sex crimes. And this was published on June 10th, 2025. I wish it allowed me to watch the audio. I don't think it will let me. If I tried, I'll try it, see if it does. And let's see if y'all can hear it. I'm going to try it. I'll try it, see if it does. No, it's not letting me. Let's see if y'all can hear it. I'm going to try it. Okay. Okay. It's a massive operation led by a joint task force, including the Dallas FBI and dozens of law enforcement agencies across North Texas, resulted in more than 200 arrests. According to the Dallas FBI, more than 100 children, mostly from North Texas, have been rescued from online sexual exploitation and other sex crimes. Soteria Shield has been around for a decade, and in April of this year, the month-long operation led to 244 arrests. 21 of them are registered sex offenders. How about now making the others registered sex offenders, huh? Tuesday morning, the North Texas Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force and the FBI Dallas North Texas Child Exploitation Task Force operation spoke about the large collaboration which involves 78 law enforcement agencies. Woohoo! The FBI Dallas Division, Dallas, Plano, Wiley, and Garland police departments helped manage the operation. Operation Soteria Shield was a massive team effort and a powerful reminder of what we can accomplish when we unite around one clear mission: protecting our kids and holding offenders accountable. That's two missions, okay? Protecting our kids and then holding offenders accountable. How about not just making them accountable? How about making them where they have to pay longer jail sentences, right? I'm tired of the slap on the wrist and not having to serve enough time. I am proud that the Dallas Police Department is the lead agency for the North Texas Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. And I'm grateful for the many, many agencies who contributed to this successful operation, said Dallas Police Chief Daniel C. Como. Guess that's how you pronounce it. We had a common goal to shine a light into the darkness of child abuse and rescue children from abuse and exploitation, said FBI Dallas Special Agent in charge, R. Joseph Rothrock. 109 children who were rescued, children who were once voiceless and invisible, are now seen and protected. Well, let's just hope they are seen and protected because what if the parents themselves had sold them to the kids and you returned them back to the parents who sold them? So let's just hope and pray that that didn't happen in some of these situations, which that's a good possibility. He said the majority of the children rescued are from North Texas, and the majority of the offenders are also from North Texas. Children today, just like they had rescued me at one time, but that guy was my rescuer who they went and rescued me from, and they took me back to the home where I was getting harmed. Children today are at risk like they've never been in the past. Part of that is because the increased access predators have to children, whether that be through online gaming platforms, social media, or other apps, explained Rothrock. So, one of the things we constantly want to communicate to the public is if you're a parent, please educate yourself. Talk to your children. Make sure they're educated and they understand the threats that are out there. Like I said, there are some apps you can put on your phone that helps guide, and you have it on your child's phone as well. And if they say anything pertaining to sex, it's going to automatically appear on your phone and notify you, which that's great. If there's a picture that they got bruises or cuts on them, it's going to let you know too, just in case of self harm. Rothrock said this isn't just a big city problem. They're seeing it in all size communities where any child can be a victim. Well, some might think this is a big city issue. We know predators cross every boundary, said Wiley Police Chief Anthony Henderson. The trauma inflicted by these crimes runs deep, affecting not only the victims, but also their families and entire communities. With every arrest made and every child protected, the operation moves us closer to a safer community. Every step forward in this operation reflects a shared commitment to protecting the most vulnerable and ensuring those who seek to exploit children are brought to justice. During their operation, they seized 1,130 digital devices and 213 terabytes of data that included illicit material of children. We are here today because child predators must be stopped, said Nancy Larson, the acting U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Texas. She highlighted a couple cases of two of the people arrested. Look at all these arrested right here. One included Harold Lee Hill from Rockwall Larson, said the FBI was assisted by the Texas Department of Public Safety, the Rockwall Police Department, the Arkansas State Patrol, and the Dallas County Sheriff's Office. Lee was charged with transporting a minor victim with the intent to engage in criminal sexual activity. He's facing life in prison. How about that? Yes, life in prison. Woohoo. In Fort Worth, police arrested Michael Hoffman. He's been charged with distributing and possessing child pornography, which included images of an adult male engaging in a sex act with a female child. If these images were not bad enough, as a federal complaint states, when agents went to Huffman's home for a search warrant, they found him sitting in his driveway with his laptop open with child pornography on display. By Huffman's own admission, he's been trading this sickness material for years, said Larson. She said Huffman is facing 20 years at federal pen. Okay, are you on the video? When you're trading, that means you've got pictures yourself of children, you with children. So I don't think 20 years is long enough because at the risk of, look how bad and how long it affects the child. It's longer than 20 years, okay? Detective Richard Huckner with the Fort Worth Police Department's Internet Crimes Against Children Division said when it comes to these types of crimes, they receive tips from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. A lot of intelligence tracking, IPs, setting off a legal process, and then trying to track down where that house is to find who has that child pornography or who is producing it, explained Hoopner. This is not a fun unit to be in. The content is awful, and we have men and women that are dedicated within the ICAC task force that we will come find you and we will end it. Like I said, unfortunately, I was with the wrong guy before that was doing child porno, and he kept scrambling up. He said, I get away with it because I keep changing my IP address. He had some kind of programs on his. So that's what these predators would do. They would change the IP address where it's harder for them to get caught. The kids abused in these crimes range in age, including toddlers and babies. And yes, I did contact FBI, but they did not do a thing. 6-month-old baby being sexually abused is heartbreaking, not only because of the image that they were watching. That child looks at that dad as you're supposed to be protecting me, right? And they're not. And then you have the other aspect of this helpless child that is, if you and I were in that situation, we could at least fight back. Well, we try, huh? He said that for the job that is quite dark, the light at the end of the tunnel is rescuing kids from abuse. That's our end goal, to see these kids not only rescued, but also go and live their life and be like who they always wanted to be. At home. They need to know it's not their fault. So let me go over here to the next. It's 244 charged with sex crimes in North Texas operation. If y'all would go, let me share the link with y'all so that y'all will be able to see the. Hey there, good to see you, Diamond. Yes, it is disgusting. You're right. God bless and thank you. You're quite welcome, my friend. It is very disgusting. You're right. So the first one went to happens to be with the NBCDFW.com. There's local joint operation. The one I'm about to go to, it's got two different videos there, and I would recommend y'all go and watch them, okay? It's fox4news.com, okay? Let me get back over here. 244 charged for child sex crimes in North Texas operation. This is June the 10th. That's where the people were charged. It's got that. And this is where the FBI Dallas Operation Soteria Shield News Conference. So y'all can go there and watch the news conference as well. Here's the brief right here. 109 children have been rescued in Operation Soteria Shield in April 2025. 244 offenders were arrested in the operation. Among them, 21 were registered sex offenders. In a few minutes, I know y'all might not want to see all the people, but I think it's good to know because what if you knew somebody like that? I mean, one of these people, and you didn't know that they were a sex offender, right? You didn't know that they're a predator after the kids. Dallas, a 2025 FBI operation ended with more than 200 people arrested and more than 100 children rescued, according to FBI Dallas and the North Texas Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. Operation Soteria field more than 70 Texas law enforcement agencies, including Dallas, Plano, Wiley, and Garland, joined forces throughout the month of April to combat the exploitation of children in the digital space. The operation was aimed at rescuing children from online sexual exploitation and bringing perpetrators to justice. By the numbers, over 200 dedicated professionals contributed to this operation, from detectives and patrol officers to special agents, crime scene experts, digital examiners, forensic analysts, and child advocates. Operation Soteria's Shield included a wide spectrum of investigations. 124 cyber tip cases, 73 chat based undercover operations, 23 high risk victim rescues, and 30 rescues to calls for service that directly led to child rescues. Wow. Investigations and arrests coordinated across multiple jurisdictions and agencies throughout the state of Texas. 109 children were identified and given resources. Thank God they were given resources as well. 244 offenders were arrested, with 368 total charges filed. Among them, 21 were already registered sex offenders. And there's some children that's in this list too who were offenders. 165 search warrants were executed, 1,130 digital services seized, and 213 terabytes of data was examined, with much of it containing graphic evidence of child exploitation. We'll get back to these pictures in a few minutes. According to acting U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Texas, Nancy Larson, 11 defendants have been charged in the Northern District. The FBI, assisted by the Texas Department of Public Safety, the Rockwall Police Department, the Arkansas State Patrol, and the Sheriff's Office of Dallas County, Arkansas, arrested Harold Lee Hill. He had been charged with transporting a minor victim with the intent to engage in criminal sexual activity, and he faces life in prison. There's the Michael Hoffman guy that we spoke of earlier. In Fort Worth, the FBI, assisted by the Fort Worth Police Department, let you see his face, has been charged with distributing and possessing child pornography, which included multiple images of an adult male engaging in a sex act with a female child. Gordon Larson, when agents went to Huffman's home to execute a search warrant, they found him sitting in the driveway with his laptop open with child pornography on display. We done seen this where his own admission, he's been trading this material for years. He faces 20 years in prison. He's been doing it for years. How come just 20 years? Look at all the years he's been exploiting. What they're saying, the numbers of offenders arrested and children rescued in this operation are stunning. The numbers leave us breathless because at some level we understand that behind every statistic, every number, there's a child with dreams, aspirations, and the right to live a life free from sexual exploitation, said Eastern District of Texas acting U.S. Attorney Jay Combs. We are committed to teaming with law enforcement to investigate and prosecute these cases with urgency and ferocity in order to protect our children. Operation Soteria Shield was a massive team effort and a powerful reminder of what we can accomplish when we unite around one clear mission: protecting our kids and holding offenders accountable. I am proud that the Dallas Police Department is the lead agency for the North Texas Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, and I'm grateful for the many agencies who contributed to this successful operation, said Dallas Police Chief Daniel C. Cummett. The following are the names of the offenders arrested in the 2025 operation according to the FBI. I'm not going to go through the names right here, but I want to show y'all at the bottom down here right quick. But in a few minutes, we're going to see the pictures, okay? So when you go on for, look at the long list here. Look, so we go to see juvenile offender. Look at these juvenile offenders. Juvenile offender 15 years of age, juvenile offender 16 years of age, juvenile offender 15 years of age. There's these different juvenile offenders. So let me scroll back up. Let's give them, so I doubt it's going to have the juveniles pictures in here. That was my point there. Okay. Here is Walter Ray's. There's Michael Witt Evans, Walter Evans. I guess that would be really Walter Evans, maybe. Keith Bond, Marlon Brown, Sammy Carter. Always tries to do a little bit of commercial right there. Let me move this around out of the way right here. Eduardo De Rossi Morin, Jeremy Beninin, Angel Flores. I've heard of him many, many times in some of the news stories. He must be one of the sexual predators that sex offenders registered. Noah Griffin, Santana Hernandez, John Vega Rivera. I've heard of you too. Yep. Commercials, I tell you. James Davila, Howard Hightower, Dakota Vaught, Jose Rodriguez, Vincent Torvelin, Ronald Spivey. Yeah, I heard of you. Yes, every about 5 pictures, and it's going to try to do an advertisement. Subshooting. I don't even know how to say that name. Smodlovic. Smajlovic. Smodlovic. Alphuz Shakur. Eric Castillas. Elijah Maxwell. Ronald Hoover. Ocean Raman. Darius Jackson. Come on now, really? There's that Michael Huffman dude. Jonathan Elmore. Eduardo Montanas. Juan Estrada. Gavin Banta. Meyer McMurtry. Alexis Mendez. Robert Lisenby. Lisenby, whichever way you want to pronounce it. Walter Baird. LaFrance Hogg. Jacob Winchester. Gonna be Dustin Sullivan. There's Dustin Sullivan. Christopher Hernandez. Dominic Anastasi. Christopher Mann Jr. Eric Lopez. Jason Eller. So there were 4 or 5 pictures. Louise Luis Diaz. Christian Bivens. Kevin Franklin. Ben Nguyen. I knew some Nguyen's are pretty smart. They were doctors and stuff around in Alabama. Brenton Bolton. Antonio Arce. Yeah, it's going to be Charles Cooper the third in a few minutes. A few seconds. Charles Cooper the third. But in mind, like I said, this is around the Texas, North Texas area, Dallas, Texas. So please beware. Weston King, Andrew Adenir Gun, Adenir Gun, I guess that's how it's pronounced. Kylie Gorzelik, Mark Norman, Bang Sang, Emmanuel Soto, Timothy Kerwick, Devin Sloan, George Gonzalez, Hazel Ababasi. I don't know how to say Abouabsi. I guess y'all see that name. John Donovan. If y'all got any people that I'm listing as a friend on here, you better check, make sure who your friends are. Please. Zizhan Siddiqui, Siddiqui, Brandon Lovegren, Kiana Everett. Wow, there's a lady. I think that other one was a lady well, a while back, I think, as well. David Pritzker, Eric Cuda, Juan Perez. It's going to be Robert Ravel, Ruben Flores, Wayne Sykes, Calvin McBride, Julio Lamimi, Justin Cerruti. Here we go again. John Reagan, Carlos Mazarigos, Mazarigos, Scott Young, David John, Christopher Irvin, Mark Zaha, Tommy Gifford, Raymond Patello, Joel Ortega, Victor Williams, Christopher Cavallero, Lawson Stewart, Grant Levy, excuse me, Grant Levy, Ryan Berger, Daniel Gonzalez, Noel Tabercio, Dylan Van Russell, Rogelio Gonzalez, okay, Sydney Cobb, Dimitri Powell, Greg Chandler, Austin Savage, Berman Sims, Naya Hebron, Matthew Cortez, Zachary Acevedo, Stephen Baker, Diego Espinoza, Dennis Teachout, Curtis George, Jordan Snyder, Michael Rowland, Felix Romero, Bobby Alexander, William Greason, Daniel Tamez, Matthew Bibb, Daniel Quintana, Omar Millen, Joel Garcia, Daniel Bates, Otho London, thundering now out here. Edward Park, Yehuda Arl Esquenazi, Christian Goodley, James Turner, Imante Marcus, Lloyd Ingram, Joe Long, Miguel Montano, Francisco Cardiel, James Patala, Harold Hill. Yeah, that's the one that tried to trap that kid from Arkansas or Arizona. Which one was it a few minutes ago? Pryor Chandler, Donald Harris, Daniel Solomon, Adam Strait, Francisco Perez, Brian McNeely, Christopher Morgan, Vincent Presley, Vincent Presley, Brian Benez, Darren Robertson, Mario Martinez, Eric Clemens, Elijah Piper, Emmanuel Reyes, Silas Baird, Kiana Ortez. I don't want the lemonade. The lemonade was right. Yeah, I need one more. My throat. Kiana Ortez, Andrew Bell. The name's familiar. Chad Dansby, Samuel Humbert, Jason Abel, Bryson Stafford, and put a note that a lot of times these predators do have aliases as well. Daniel Murray, James Gillespie, Michael Bratcher, Michael Arnold, Jennifer Crawley, Jennifer Crawley, Louis Mejia or Mejia, not sure how you pronounce that, Mejia, Jesse McVicker, Christopher Sessions, Julian Rivera, Bradley Finn, Travis Martin, Travis Martin, James Rabson, Zayed Haddad, John Bolden, Robert Daring, Ralph Thomas. I know some of y'all are fathers. That's, that's you predators. You do not deserve to have kids when you're this way. Christopher Hall, DeJohn Jackson, Christopher Bang, PJ Pritchard. This goes to show, y'all might be tired of me showing the pictures and stuff, but you know what? This goes to show that this is a lot bigger than what we realize because this is just was done in a sting operation in Texas. Okay. Edwin Gomez, Joshua Rankin, Taylor Gardner, Andrew Heather. So I bet it's Heather Andrew. Andrew Heather. So I bet it's Heather Andrew. Marquis Simmons, Israel Cervantes, Raymond or Ramon Javier, Jose Ramos, Roberto Quezada, Fidencio Sanchez, Jason Grant, Danny Cable, got that tattoo under his eye right there, Adam King, Richard Brunch. Why do y'all like messing with kids so much? Look at all y'all sickos. Hendrik Mouton, Edgar Aceb, um, Acevedo, Anthony Garabaglia, Paul Hawkins, Frank Garcia, Pedro Vasquez, Elijah Leggett, James Darr. We're over halfway there, okay? Travis Collier, Joe Martinez, Ernest Nichols, Hiller Reed, Philip Garner, Philip Garner, Justin Stanton, Umesh Adhikari, Elijah Howard, David Johnson, Miles Torres, Deshaun Taylor, Scott Knoll. You look like you're hiring a cat there. Donnie Dossie, Philip Conlon. I hope somebody knocks that grin off your face. Oscar Gonzalez. Somebody knocks that grin off your face too. Trevor Green. James Walker. Jingwan Chen. Alyssa Hightower. Ugh. Hope you never have kids. Andrew Gilliard. Gilliard. Austin Aguirres. Stephen Chambers. Xavier Xavier Stidwell. Gregory Ganowski. Dalen Gomez. William Guyton. Justin Brooks. Andrew Moore. Noah Lewis. Parker Riley. James Johnson. Diego Sanchez. Zishan Sayed. Jason Giuliani. That's the last of it. Let's share this. I want to thank everybody for coming in and supporting this channel. This is disgusting and sickening. These people doing this. Let's be an advocate for our children and other people's children as well. Y'all have a fantastic day. This is great that these perpetrators were caught. Thank you, Texas. Thank you for all involved on catching these sickos. May God bless each and every one of you. Thank you so much. And have a great weekend. God bless.